A Christmas charcuterie is typically meat and cheese, but I'm going to add dessert to make a sweet and savory combination. Join me as I do a Christmas charcuterie table display for the holidays at High Prairie Life. All right, this is my kitchen table. I like round because people can flow around it. So what I wanted to do though is have it a little bit bigger. I really wanted a 48-inch circumference. But I don't have that, but I do have a base. So what I did is I went to the lumber yard and they actually had a half piece of ply. So I asked them if they would cut it so that I had a 48-inch circle. And I want smooth on both sides so it wouldn't scratch anything that you're putting it on. And so they cut it for me, sanded the sides, brought it home. I can tuck it under the bed or put it in the garage when I'm not needing it. But I do have some of that shelf liner paper that I put down first, because you don't want whatever board you're putting on top of your table, if you do need to enlarge it, you don't want it to slip and slide. So this is the 48-inch board that I had the lumberyard cut for me, smooth-sided on both sides, sanded on the edges, 48 inches all the way around. I have some leftover 2x4s that I use to put the bases of my pedestal cake plates so that it's a solid base for them, so nothing's going to tip when people are going around to get all the different foods and desserts that we're going to put on it. So now that I have this in position, I'm going to go ahead and put my burlap fabric on it, and then I'm going to put a piece of clear plastic on the top of it. It's got some little lines and wrinkles. Don't worry about it, because I'm going to be putting all kinds of cedar, greenery and flowers, and then when your platters are out there, you'll never see it, but what it will do is protect your burlap so that you can use it again another time and get multiple uses out of it. We just finished setting up and prepping our base table, and I wanted to show you where I'm staging everything. I'm a busy gal like everybody else, and I only have so much time to be able to get everything accomplished. So the more organized, the more lists, the more prep I do, the more efficient I am and more relaxed and chill, so I don't turn into a crappy person at holiday time. I have the burlap fabric that I got at the fabric store, and I just keep it on a roll. That way I never get any wrinkles. I have leftover bark plates from my daughter and son-in-law's wedding. Beautiful white pine and cedar that I'm going to drape around the table. Some pomegranates for color. I love these flowers. I went to the florist shop, and it's white cabbage with a little hint of green on the edges, and I love that I could get Star of Bethlehem for the flowers. I have different height pedestals so that there's interest on the tables. I do not have time to make these gorgeous little cookies, so I ordered them from a lady who's great at it. As well as there's a baker in Rapid, a little French bakery, and I requested gingerbread cookies with little white icing to pick up on the bark and the tablecloths. And then I have all this garnish and the dishes and some candied leaves for accent later on, and I feel like I'm pretty well prepped to put that table together. So I'm excited for you to see it all come to fruition. I spent my day making the sweet and savory dishes. It's getting dark. My guests will be here in a couple of hours, and it's time to prepare the table. I changed my mind. Earlier I thought I'd have some different heights with the 2x4s, and now I would rather have a center focal point. So I rearranged my little 2x4s, and then I'm going to get the tablecloth, which is burlap, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drape this over the table for a beautiful waterfall effect. The draping of the burlap went great. I kept crisscrossing it like an X, so I have soft folds all around the table. I cut this earlier, this sheet of plastic that I'm going to put on top of the burlap because I want to protect the table, because I would love to keep repurposing this. It's been a great piece of fabric. Little tiny white lights are going to look lovely interspersed around the whole table. Just little hints of twinkle that add interest in life. I have the white pine and the cedar, very soft greenery. Won't leave any sap either on the tablecloth, but will be very fragrant, very soft. The little battery boxes you're going to want to hide and tuck in underneath those branches and behind dishes so that nobody will see where anything's being plugged in or turned on. And then we'll start getting the plates and getting everything put together. Now the fun begins. I get to play and tweak. The greenery is on the table. There's open spaces that you can see. It doesn't matter. The bark platters will be situated in 3 different locations. I like odd numbers. It makes for a more interesting table, adds more of an interesting balance to it. The foods that I have already prepared, I'm going to set down so that I can start adjusting the pine boughs. As you can see, this is thick. I will take my poultry shears and I will cut some of that off so it will lay nice, because I want to be able to tuck some of these smaller branches underneath the lips and edges of the plates. Then I will go ahead and I'm going to start touching the little lights and tweaking and tucking them in. So the more plates that I can keep starting to put out now will help me to adjust all this so it'll look really great when we add the rest of our touches. Happy holidays! The table is done. Join me as I take you on a tour of all the things that I have done. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. For any of these recipes, please go to highprairielife.com.